Hello everyone, Techie Dheeraj here. Today we are going to discuss more about Dockers. Level of this tutorial is intermediate and I am assuming you have already installed Docker in your machine. If you have not, please go through the links provided in the description. I'm also assuming you have basic understanding of Docker and Docker commands. If you don't have basic understanding, please go watch my previous video on Dockers. I will put the link of that video in the description as well. So without wasting any time, let's get started. I will start with Dockerfile introduction. So, what is Dockerfile? Dockerfile is basically a text document that contains all the commands that user run on the command line to build an image. So, with the help of Dockerfile, we can build our own custom images. Let me open sample. So, this is Dockerfile. So, this file contains all the commands like from is one command, run is one command. So this is basically a layering mechanism. This is the top layer where it will try to pull the image from our repository. Like I am pulling Alpine image. Alpine is basically a Linux based Docker image. So it will try to pull latest Alpine image, as I have not mentioned any tag or which particular image I want to pull. So it will try to pull latest image from Docker Hub, and that will be our base layer. Over to that layer, it will try to run this command. As I mentioned, run this command, and this command will add some strings to welcome file. So this command will basically create one welcome file inside root directory. So this will be a top layer. So after this pulling this image, it will add this file at the build time, and it will create in another image over to that image. So let me run this. Yeah. So build docker build will basically read the docker file, and it will try to build a custom image. Hyphen t is a tag. So here I am specifying, I can mention anything here, but here I am specifying, as I have pulled Alpine latest image, so I am creating one welcome directory. So I named this image as v1 version 1. This dot is basically path of docker file. So as you can see, it is pulling Alpine image, as image was already there in my local workspace, so it did not pull. So as you can see, this is the base image id, and over to that it ran this command, and it created another image like this. It's also showing successfully built, so we can see this here. This is the same image id, it's mentioned here. So the previous latest image id is b7b2, as you can see here. Okay, so if I run this Alpine v1 image, I should be able to find welcome file inside root directory. So let's run this in detached mode. Okay, so it successfully ran. Yeah, as you can see, I found the terminal. So if I go to root, I should find this file. So its file is there, this random string was there. So this is the basic use of Dockerfile. So we can, I created one custom image which which contains this welcome file inside root directory. Okay, so I will stop this container now. Okay, so Secondly, I want to mount one directory from my host machine to the Docker using the Dockerfile. Earlier, when I explained to mount a directory inside Docker, I used command line. So this time I will use Dockerfile. So this is Dockerfile. So here I am pulling Nginx image from Docker Hub, and I am creating one volume mount. So this volume command basically create a mount point inside Nginx container. So this will create some dkkr directory in mnt. Okay, so but if I want to mount some directory from host to Docker, I have to mention that in -v flag while the running time. Okay, so let me run this. Okay, so this will basically build one image. As you can see, it created one v1 nginx image with ba113 tag, and base image was f6.8d, as you can see here. So this was already existed in my local, so it did not pull from Docker Hub. So let's run this v1. So I am mounting one directory from my desktop to the mnt dkkr, which I gave inside Dockerfile. So I, I think that mount point should have been already created. Yeah, it successfully ran. So let's go into this container. Yeah, as you can see, one directory and one file is there inside my desktop directory. Okay, I will cross check and desktop directory. So as you can see, two files two files are there. One is directory and one is executable file. Okay, so as you can see, this dkkr was already created because we gave this mount point to Dockerfile. So now I will explain one problem comes with mounting volumes. So as you can see, I mounted this volume. Let me exit from here. So I ran this command. I'm a normal user at this point. As you can see, I'm a normal user. I ran this command which mounted one directory from my host machine desktop directory to dkkr directory. So the problem comes basically, as you can see in my desktop. So this run.py is with root user. So if I try to run this, it will, oh, sorry, it will throw permission denied because only root user can run this, as the other user don't have permission to execute this file. Okay, so but if I mount this directory inside Docker, I can run this file here. As we cannot run here because Python 3 is not there. So but one thing I can do is I am root inside container, so I can change the permission. Okay, as you can see, I change the permission so that normal user can also run this file. Now if I go to my desktop again, I'm able to execute this file. So this is the problem comes with mounting volume. So as earlier, we as a normal user, we did not want to execute this file by this root decay user, but what this user did, this user mounted one directory, desktop directory inside Docker, and he or she was able to change the permission of this file. And if it come back to the, because that is mounted volume, so this permission will reflect here also. So if it come back to the normal user, and it will run this, and so it got the permission. So this is the problem comes with. So how to prevent from this kind of problem? So the prevention is, if I run this command id, so here you can see this group 129 docker group. So when I was doing setup on my machine, so I added this normal user to docker group. So we can only add some normal user to docker group by I mean through root user. So we cannot add from normal user to any group. So we need to be careful like which user we are adding to this group. So like this root decay is a user which will not change these permissions, or which will not have access to these directories which we are mounting. So only those users we need to add into this group. So this is how we can prevent this. Okay, so one thing is there, making custom build docker image. Okay, so I will go through that. Yeah. So I have created another Dockerfile image. As you can see, I am pulling Ubuntu latest image from Docker Hub. This is label is basically to label our images as if we have more of Ubuntu images, custom images running, so those will be same name, everything will be same with the unique ID. But we don't remember that unique image ID, so we can label our images. So we can use Docker inspect uh, file on inspect command on containers, so that we can find our custom image with this label. Okay, we can add more label variables also. So run, as I have explained, run will on the build time, it will run this command inside Docker container apt get update, and it will install Apache server. So as you can see, this is the top layer. It will pull the basic, it will become the base layer, and it will add this to on over to that, and this command and custom image to over to that. So at every level image will be created. Okay, it will try to run this command as well. It will add this string into this inside the Docker. So this is all is commented. So it will expose it. So expose command basically does, it will open one port of 80 inside container. I mean, it will not directly open, but it will let normal user know which ports are open inside Docker, because port will only be opened when we run some server inside Docker container. But to let user know to map with the host port, so we can mention this in our Docker file, like this port will be opened after running this all. So there is a command also. So cmd basically what it does, it will run this command inside Docker container. So as run also, execute the command, cmd also execute the command. So what is the difference? So the difference comes at the build time. It will execute this command, and then and there it will write into the image file. But cmd will basically execute this command after running the container. When container is run first, then this command will be executed. So let's start this. First we'll build this using Dockerfile. So as you can see, each layer is working. This is the base layer. It did not pull Ubuntu image because it was already existed in my local. So this all logs, basically it is doing an installation inside Docker container and trying to build image from that. It will try to install Apache server inside Docker container. Yeah, as you can see, it was all installed, and now it created image at each layer. It executed this command and write this string inside index.html. So if I go to images, it is showing v1 ubuntu images build, and we can also see all the intermediate images by passing -a. So as you can see, all images are here because there is no specific tag, there is no final stage of that image, so no repository, no tag was given. So with each layer, every image is written. Okay, so we will try to run this. We need to pass. So we'll try to run this image. Yeah, it ran. Okay, so if I now, without going to this container, I can just, because I have written one string inside index.html. As you can see in this Docker file, I have written this string inside index.html. So I should be able to see all this if I go to this IP, this port with my localhost IP. So as you can see, this is test Docker. It's shown there. Okay, so this is the basic use of this using Dockerfile. So as with the each layer, we can build our own custom image. As you can see, I wanted to install, I wanted to create one image which has Apache server up and running, and I wanted to add some index HTML inside that Apache server. Like I till now I have run some random string. I have added the string into index.html, but we can also copy our own index.html in pad.html. So we will replace our HTML file with the default existing HTML file. So this index file, we can pass the path from source directory of here. Like this index.html is available in my current directory, so it will copy directly to www.html. So as you can see, index.html is here. So I will try to build one more image, this time with v2 tag. So one thing I want to mention here, it is using cache here. The reason why it's using cache because in the earlier step it has basically ran this all commands and created one custom image at every each layer. So it is not creating the same image, because till now everything is same, like label is set, this is installing Apache server, so this will not reinstall everything and put that into some new image. So it will pick that as a base image, and it will, because I have changed one layer, instead of running adding some text string, I have copied my own file. So it will just uh, change this layer, and over to that it will create some other layers, but till this layer everything is same. So it use the existing cache images which is available, which I have shown you, as it was available in -a. As we can see, these image IDs are here, so it used those only. So as these two layers are changed after that, exposing this port and running the command, so because one layer is changed, so it will write other two layers over to that. Okay, so we will try to run this as well. This time I will try to pass some different port, because that port will be already used. Okay, so this is already used, I think. This is not used. Yeah, as you can see, 6995 is running. Now if I go to this IP, this port, so as you can see, I found the text which was written in my custom index HTML files. So this is how we can use Dockerfile. Okay, so I think that's all for today. So I'm going to wrap up here. Please provide some feedback in comments, like this video, share with your friends who are looking into Dockers and want to change their field into Docker. So I think this introduction in practical way might help them. Subscribe this channel if you want to, uh, like suggest me something, like that thing should have done that way and like that. Please provide all those things in comments. Thank you all.